morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. It's Monday, the 7th of October. The train has taken a slight derailment. The sky, according to some, is actually falling down. And it is actually falling down. The world could be ending, judging by the meltdown that has ensued. But we're alive and kicking, and I'm joined, as always, by Jimbo. How are you doing, Jimbo?
Yeah, good, thanks. Good intro there.
Well, it's bonkers. It is bonkers with Tottenham. You're either up there winning the league, or you're down there and everything is absolutely diabolical and the whole world is ending. It's just the overreaction. I can't get my head around it, but hopefully we will delve into it today and find a more balanced view as to what went wrong yesterday and where we go from here. But it's just us for now. Chang is going to try and join us. Nicholas can't join us today. So got some strange guy in the chat saying, morning, Kate and Chang is who we are, mate. Not sure who that is, but big up to you anyway. Shemtan said, morning, Princess Kate, said Jimbo, youngest looking old man, Mr. Chang. Hope you're well after that utterly useless, lifeless, disgusting second half yesterday. And looking like a deer in the headlights the whole second half. I don't know what to say to that really, but big up Shem, big ups Graham, good to see you. Anthony Clark giving it large, big up Kate and Jimbo, what a great weekend it's been. Yes, if you're a gooner, it's been a wonderful weekend. Joey Barton always seems to appear when Tottenham lose, amazing. Some of us wanted Ange out months ago and aren't up and down, and I'm back, baby. Of course you are. Can't wait to come back when we lose. Big up Tigaro. Hope you're well, sir. Good to see you. Smithy's here. Still didn't ring us, Smithy. Hope you're well, my lovely. And Fiona's here as well, saying morning. Johnny Bethnal Green, chin up, carry on. Exactly that. Exactly that, sir. Literally only one place we can start, which was yesterday. Oh, Vindaloo. Look, all the gooners are out. Morning on this lovely morning. This morning just feels that bit extra special, don't you think? Yeah, I kind of agree with you, Vindaloo. I know exactly what you're talking about. Honestly. Mario's here saying back to reality. Listen, everyone wins, everyone loses games. That's what football's all about. Look at Liverpool the other day, losing at home to Nottingham Forest. You know, these things do happen. It doesn't automatically mean it's the end of the world. I'm just going to put that out there. But obviously yesterday, Brighton came from 2-0 down to beat us 3-2. First half, I thought we was excellent. Quick off the mark. Missed loads of chances. And then obviously Brennan, my man, got his goal. And we were cruising, really, going into half time. The only thing I will say is that warning signs were there that Matoma looked like he was going to cause us some trouble. And then second half, I don't even know what to say. 18, 20 minutes of absolute madness where they completely turned the game on its head and beat us 3-2. Again, I say it again. Individual errors. Romero just head in the clouds in the second half. Udogie, dreadful in the second half. Van de Ven even in the second half was poor. You know, and yes, Ange has to take his fair of the blame here. Fair share of the blame. He should have made subs earlier. Werner stayed on the pitch for too long. But the people that are blaming Werner for the loss, give your head a wobble. I am not sticking up for Werner as a player. I don't think he's good enough. However, he is not the reason we lost yesterday. And anyone who thinks that it is needs to rewatch the game. He is not that reason. But Ange did look a little bit shocked at the capitulation that followed. And he has to, like I say, take his share of the blame for not making his substitutes quicker and changing it. Levy has to take his share of the blame for not bringing us enough quality so that we can have someone come off the bench and change a game. There's blame all round. I mean, Jim, give us your thoughts on it.
I think that I think because I've been wrapped around Spurs a long time, it doesn't shock me like it shocks a lot of people because I've seen it time and time again. And I think if you sack this manager and bring another manager in, it's not going to make a difference. I really don't. I think the main problem at Tottenham is we want to be a big club like the Gooners and City and Liverpool, but with the people in charge, it's not going to happen. I've kind of accepted it, and it's all right. People saying, "Well, you shouldn't accept it." We want better for our club. I don't want to accept it, but there's no point not accepting it because it ain't going to change with me thinking any other way. You know, they're not going to. You need to, if you want to be a massive, massive club, you've got to every transfer window buy top players. And when I say top players, I mean when you look at City have got a squad for the world class players, and the ones that ain't world class are top players, just off the edge of world class. You know, and I'm the Gooners. I suppose they have got some. Have they got some world class players? I'm not sure, but they've got top players, right? That people like Saliba and Gabriel. Have got plenty of time to become world class. You got Saka, who's not world class in my opinion, but he could get there. But we don't seem to have that. We seem to have good players, a couple of top players, but not world class players. You know, the only one you could say maybe is world class or was world class was Sonny, but I've always said that I think he's a world class goal scorer, but maybe not a world class player. So, and until that changes, Kate, until every window we say, right, we're going to buy this player and that player that is going to elevate us. It doesn't surprise me what happened yesterday. You know, was I screaming and shouting at the telly, Kate? No, I screamed when we scored, but because I kind of expect it to happen now and again with Tottenham, because it always does. So that's why I don't go on meltdowns. But what I would say yesterday, which really, really disappointed me, right? And people say I'm a happy clapper, but I will give criticism where it's needed. I think yesterday was the first time, right? I think yesterday was the first time I looked at Ange and I thought to myself, I'm not sure he's the right guy for Tottenham. I think that was the first time because the football we've been playing has been really attractive and that, but when things started going wrong, I'm not sure he knows what to do because he hasn't, to me, proved that he knows what to do. That second half, he should have took the team by the scruff of the neck, right? Made some changes early, and should have been barking orders at him. But there wasn't no one on the pitch for me, and there was no one on the sideline that kind of took control of it. That's why, as the game went on, the second half it got worse and worse. So I think yesterday was the first time I started thinking, God, is he the right guy for the job? But then I'll go back to the old thing we spoke about before. If we sack him, who do we get in? You know, it's a hard one. I'm kind of bemused with it today, like maybe a little bit shocked. I emotionless, expressionless. Oh yeah, I agree, Joey. I agree. I do like Ange, and I like his brand of football. But I can't get my head round, the second half, and they just capitulated and nobody took control. If I'd have been a footballer, right? If I'd have been a footballer on that pitch, I would have took control. Right? I would have been screaming at people, getting people back in line. But nobody seemed to do that, and that's a bit. I'm not moving to the dark side, not at all. Well, I'm just being honest with what I saw and how I feel this morning. I won't melt down and I won't start slagging everyone off. But what I saw, I didn't like. I'll put it that way, not one bit.
Yeah, I hear you. Chang's here. Big up, Chang. How you doing?
A very good Monday morning to you, Miss Boxell, and also Mr. James. I am doing very well here in Kuala Lumpur, the capital of Malaysia. It's 7:10 p.m. and I'm very fortunate to have found this place very nearby to where I live. And yeah, looking forward to the show. But what can I say? yesterday's results. What a downer. We got off to a great start, it's got to be said. And a lot of us, I think, were maybe counting our chicks a little too soon before they even hatched. And, well, I am glad that we are going into this mini international break on the back of a very painful lesson that's not only Big Ange and the players, but us fans as well. This is a very timely reality check for each and every single one of us, and hopefully Big Ange and our coaching staff will take some lessons from this defeat on our travels against Brighton.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm like this. I've been flip-flopping as well, and I said on the terrace last night, this is how I think it's going to be. We're going to have Ange isn't going to play different, so we're going to have times where it works, and we're going to have times where it doesn't work. Like yesterday, I mean, it was brutal. To not make any changes is unforgivable when we're losing control of the game.
Can I just interrupt you there, Kate? To just only because I want to say something about what you just said. It's all right saying that, and I agree with you, right? But if we sack Postecoglou today and we bring another manager in, is it not going to happen again under that manager? I think because the problem is higher up. Look, I'm not going to knock Levy for what he's done for the club financially, the kind of elevation he's took us to, but he's never. I don't think Levy will ever make this team into a Premiership winning team. I don't think Levy will ever do that because he don't seem to spend the money if it is him right in the right places on the right players, and he's bought in. I'm not going to say they ain't spent a lot of money and they ain't bought in some decent players, but you got to look at City, right? City went from being a very, very average team, right? They were just a mid-table team. I think they did get relegated, City, didn't they, and come back up. But their owners invested the right way, and look where they are now. We could have done that with the money we've spent over the years. We could have spent in just like them. We've spent a lot of money, right? But I think that the hierarchy is never going to take us to that level. So we have to accept where we are, and there's nothing we can do about it. I mean, me screaming and crying and melting down ain't going to change what's happening at the club. So I kind of accept it. If people think that's right or wrong, it doesn't matter to me because I can't do anything about it. So I just accept where we are, and when we get 5 wins on a row, I love it. But yesterday kind of brings us all back down to reality. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I mean, Steve D, big up, says the meltdown is OTT, but Ange got it wrong yesterday. I was screaming out once they scored. Bad day at the office, but we move on.
Yeah, we move on, Steve. But let me ask you this, Steve, because you and me are quite good friends. Was it very concerning for you, Steve, when you saw nobody taking control on the pitch, and when you see Ange on the sideline with just his hands in his pocket? Because
which I've been saying for months and months and months, if I'd
have been on the sideline as a manager, I would have been screaming and making changes, but I don't know.
I mean, what concerns me is a few things concern me. I've got some tweets saved that I wanted to speak about, but after the game, his comments, Ange's comments are if you ask me, they're very concerning. He said, they asked him why he didn't make the substitutions sooner. And he said, I could have, but all these things are totally irrelevant to me. Substitutions and all those kind of things. If you're not competitive, it doesn't matter what you do. You're not going to get rewards. You don't deserve to win. We didn't deserve on our second half performance, irrespective of subs or anything else, to get something out of the game. But I think if you do get something out of the game, you're falsely rewarded. And I don't want to get falsely rewarded. Now, first of all, how can substitutions not be relevant? That's concerning. Second of all, I think if you do get something out of the game, you're falsely rewarded. So he's saying, had we won, we would have it would have been false, and he doesn't want that. Now, a winner wins by all means possible. I don't give a shit if we have 90 minutes of playing tripe and the other team play us off the park. I want that win. I don't care if it's false. I mean, Chang, do those comments concern you, what Ange has come out and said?
100%. I mean, as a Spurs fan, you want a manager that can roll the punches, that can adjust and adapt whenever it's necessary. And yesterday, I didn't see anything of that sort. The very fact that we made substitutions only after we were trailing is what concerns me, and that Big Ange has still yet to learn his very painful and harsh lessons from the previous season when it comes to substitutions and actually changing things up to suit the occasion. And I wanted to say this a lot in detail yesterday when I went on at halftime over at Jacobs United Spurs of America, when I mentioned substitutions, whether it's Jet Spence coming on, Mikey Moore or Lucas Burkle or anyone at halftime, just so we can weather the storm, hit them on the counter, because we know they will be coming at us. They are 2-0 down at home. They are trying to get something for themselves before the mini international break. So why not use this opportunity to show, our own fan base, let alone the world in general, that we are actually capable of doing something outside of the norm, when rather than just playing Ange ball and running headlessly into needless, challenges that winds up getting us, on the back foot. So, yes, pretty much every single thing that Big Ange said is going to be concerning, and I don't think this is going to be sustainable in the long run. I wish it was. I mean, I hope he doesn't think it will be, if that is really who he is, that stubbornness, that thick skin, and his inability to change. But I just hope this is merely a phase, because I can actually see us going quite far this season into any cup run. It could be the domestic cups, it could be in Europe, it could even be going so far as challenging top 4 and top 5 to the very last week. And if this sort of inability to alter, to turn things around, is what's awaiting us at the latter stages where trophies are on the line, then yes, it will be very, very concerning to me personally as a Spurs fan.
Yeah, I mean, this is true as well. Definitely not Elias. Says winning without playing well was what we did at Coventry. Ange was happy to take it then. I mean, Jimbo, those are very bizarre comments that Ange.
That's a very bizarre name as well.
Yeah, it is. But the comments that Ange came out with, I think, are worrying, if you want to know the truth. I really don't like what he's come out with.
Yeah, well, I said to you that yesterday was the first time I had doubts. I think you starred Steve D's comment, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
We'll go back to that. All right, we'll go back because I wanted to answer that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but look, I had a little incident last night. I'm not going to go into it, but I had a little incident last night, personal incident, and it kind of put things in perspective for me. So I can't come on here and fucking moan and scream and shout, but I will point out where things are wrong, and that is very, very concerning. Right, football's not the be all and end all for me. I love Tottenham. I think people know how much I love Tottenham, but there was concerning things last night, Kate. But at the end of the day, it's football. These things happen. I've seen it happen over the years with Tottenham. 55 years I've been supporting them. So I don't know. I don't know where we go from here. We have to hope that he learns from it. He's obviously, I don't think, going to get sacked yet. So we have to hope he learns from it and the players learn from it, and we have a good bounce back and see where it takes us.
Yeah, I agree with Steve. His comments were bizarre. It's like he was taking some sort of sporting moral high ground. If you can win at any cost, that's exactly what you do. I mean, Pep Guardiola doesn't say, I only want us to win if we play well. He just takes any win that comes their way, and that's what sport's about. But yeah, Steve D said, we wasn't complaining about him being calm on the touchline when we was on a 5 streak, mate, but I'm frustrated with the in-game management yesterday. His comments were bizarre.
Yeah, the thing is, when you're winning and they're calm on the touchline, you've got nothing to worry about. Have you? You look at him and you think, well, he's doing a good job. But when we're not winning and things start to go wrong, like it did in the second half, that's when I expect to see the manager step up and take control. And he didn't do that. He didn't do that in himself. He didn't do it with the subs. Subs are miles too late for me. As soon as that first goal went in, I would have been making subs, and I don't know. It's strange to me. I don't know. It's strange.
I mean, I would argue that we had people on the bench that could have changed the game. You had Bergvall, well capable of changing the game. You had Mikey Moore. You had Lancashire, both young kids, but both with that no fear attitude that could change the game. I mean, Basuma, I think, should have been brought on earlier to solid up the defence. I mean, Chang, does it worry you that he doesn't seem to ever want to get away from this high press and that he doesn't ever want to just sort of defend what lead we've got?
Yes, it is definitely concerning, especially when I mentioned earlier, assuming let's say, just take yesterday's game, for example, assuming that was the last week of the season, and both us and Brighton were head-to-head for that final Europa League qualification spot. I mean, if you look at the table at halftime and after halftime, at halftime, we were sitting in sixth or fifth. I think it was sixth. Yeah, we were in sixth.
Yeah.
And we were just a point off of fourth Chelsea. And at full time, Brighton, who then beat us at full time, they then leapfrogged us into that sixth place that we were at. Now, assuming that was the last week of the season and European qualifications on the line, and Big Edge still, sticks to this stubborn philosophy, his tactics that just doesn't bode well for not just any Spurs fan, any sports fan for that matter, when your manager can't protect his winnings. If I were a gambling man, it's almost like saying I can't cash out when I'm still ahead. You can't, make the most of what you already have, and you are still blindly just letting things take its course without doing anything to change the outcome. That I think will be very worrying. And I did mention as well that players like Romero, I thought Romero looked very out of it in the second half. Maybe it could be the 90 minutes. It could be the 90 minutes that he played the whole game away on our travels at Budapest, Hungary. So I was calling up for Dragushin to replace him, as was Porro. I mean, Porro, the amount of times he got skinned time and time again in the first half alone. The second half notwithstanding, just that first half alone, I was thinking, this is not going well. He has to be sub for either Archie Gray or Jet Spence. Even Udogi, when he miscontrolled that ball in that led to their opening goal, I thought, you know what, he's going to have a bad second half. Maybe put on a Jet Spence who can actually have some fresh legs, seeing as Jet Spence wasn't in the squad that went to Hungary. So yeah, it's things like this that's raising concerns. But here's fingers crossed. Really hope that Big Ange is not naive and bullish enough to see that it's his way or the highway. And let's just give him the benefit of the end of the season to see if he can turn things around. Because otherwise, if not, it's not just us Spurs fans that will seriously question his suitability for the club. It's Levy and the owners will then look at themselves and say, you know what, maybe this league isn't cut out for you. Maybe we need someone who knows what he's doing come the final whistle.
Yeah, mate, you're right. Big up Lisa as well, an international observer, who says Ange sadly is showing the limitations of his experience in football. Massive step up for him. He probably has no experience of such competitive opponents. He's always been the top G in a small leagues, hence now. Yeah, look, I think I still have got faith in Ange, but I think he's got to learn quick that when we're 2-0 up, you need to close the shut the what is it they say? Shut the gates, shut the floodgates. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but you need to solidify your defence and hold on to that 2-0 lead.
I think Kate. I'm not sure it was a right move playing your doggy because what I've seen of your doggy over since he's been here. When he's been out injured and comes back, seems to take him a while to get into it. So I think that maybe after the first half he should have put Spence on, and I would have definitely bought Basuma on to help the defence, to tighten the defence up. But I don't know. It's a strange. When I watched that game yesterday, it was a strange one for me. How everything just went from looking like a top team in the Premier League to looking like a relegation team, like in a matter of a 15-minute break.
Do you not think that perhaps we got a bit complacent and we kind of thought we've got this one? Because it looked like we went from playing 100% to like 70% effort.
But they're not very professional, are they? If that's what they did. Not at all. It's very unprofessional.
Smith's in the house and he's wearing, is that an Oxford shirt?
The best city in the world, I must add.
How are you, Smithy?
I'm good. Are you guys good? I thought I'd come and say hello, Mr. Chang.
Yeah, not too bad. What did you make of the game yesterday?
You lost weight, Lee.
Sorry?
You lost weight?
Oh, I'll be the gym, wasn't it?
You look thinner in the face.
Moisturiser. I'm trying to look as young as Chang. Is what it is. Thought the first half was good, and the second half, I thought I was daydreaming, to be honest. Completely different team.
Yeah.
I thought you doggy had a mare. Van der Ven probably had the biggest mare of his life. Didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah.
Romero. I worry about Romero. I don't think his head's in the game anymore. I mean, how many goals have we conceded so far because of him?
Yep.
Ball watching. Big up, mate.
I think the most concerning thing about Romero is this is such a true comment. Right?
He keeps hearing Real Madrid in his head. I think that's.
Well, I think the most concerning thing for me about Romero is that he's a strong character, but he doesn't seem to take control on the pitch, and he had the armband. You know.
That I would have got being the captain yesterday. I would have been shouting at that defence, to be honest, but he just didn't do anything, did he?
No.
It was a strange second half for me.
Well, me and my brother thought the game was put to bed. I was like, "There's no way these guys are catching us up now. No way. The way we're playing."
Yeah.
And then Jesus Christ, who's the one that scored their last goal? That's been around for like 100 years.
Danny Welbeck.
Yeah, what the hell was that all about? Romero just watched it.
I know. Yeah. I know, and I have to say, I thought Chang did touch on it. I thought Porro was shocking yesterday. Absolutely, I predicted him to score a worlder yesterday, and he was absolutely dog poo.
Well, even in the first half, did you think he was?
Yeah, I didn't. I thought he was awful. He kept getting knocked off the ball really easy. Looked like he wasn't on Porro. I thought he was shocking.
I mean, Dragon D Nuts has made a good comment here, right? Very good comment. Let me bring it up. Well, we should never have lost from 2-0 up. It happens, right? Which is exactly right. No one is going to win every game. Not sure what people expected. And yeah, Dragons D is exactly right. These things do happen. You do lose from behind sometimes, and sometimes you go on a winning streak and then you lose, right? It happens to everybody. You can't keep winning. But the thing that was concerning for me, right, is the way it happened.
Yeah, let them score 3 goals in 18 minutes.
Yeah, the way it happened and how no one stepped up, that was the real concerning thing for me.
We don't have a leader in the team. We don't have that leadership. I think Romero would have been that person, but his head's been turned.
But do they even exist? Do they even exist in this day and age, though?
I don't know. I think you still I don't like to sort of say this, but like Harry Maguire the other day, he's got lots of experience. He come on and he took the game by the scruff of the neck. He got up and he got the header to draw with Porto for Man United.
Yeah.
I think with our team, the heads drop and there's no one to lift those heads back up. There should be somebody, even I didn't even see Vicario shouting. It just, I literally was shell shocked yesterday, and I still feel a bit shell shocked today.
I was.
I mean, if you look at City, right, they've got a lot of leaders in their team, and if you look at Arsenal, they've got a lot of leaders in their team. But if you look at ours, you think, where's the leadership?
Do you know what? Yesterday was the first time ever, right? Because I've never said Ange out or anything like that. So I'm not that type of person. But I did think to myself yesterday: is he the right man that's going to take us to that level?
I did exactly the same thing, Lee.
I don't know if he is. I mean,
I don't know if he is. I don't know whether he's. I'm going to use the word ego because it is arrogant for him to just not adapt. I don't know if he thinks that by playing this way and winning and it sort of gives him some sort of moral high ground. Oh, you know, we can play the Tottenham way and win, but you can't. You can't do it every game. Teams are too good in the Premier League. This isn't Scotland. You know, I'm just not sure. But then at the same time, if you sack him, where do we go from there? And who do we bring in?
I put a comment in earlier. All I heard last night and this morning is everyone said, bring Poch back. I'm thinking,
he's not going to leave.
Conte must have been onto something because he said it doesn't matter what managers we have, it's never going to change because it's at the top. So
yeah, it is.
But when they scored one goal, we should definitely make substitutions right then. We shouldn't have waited until they scored 3 fucking goals.
The Matoma was causing us trouble even in the first half. But as soon as that goal went in, I expected Ange to sort of get the Basuma on, tighten it up and change the front, get Werner off and nothing.
Matoma, it just outplayed us really, didn't he? He was fucking mental.
Yep.
And Ange Postecoglou, he doesn't shout, he doesn't do anything, just stands there with his hands in his pocket. I just don't know. I think to myself, if that was Conte, he'd be going absolutely crazy on that touchline like he used to. And even Mourinho.
I mean, I don't know if anyone saw the terrace last night, but Mr. Box Office came on and he gave us a spiel about why he can't get a girlfriend. And basically, I think the message behind the rant was the fact that nice guys finish last and that we haven't really got anyone in our team that is like a Lamella was, the master of the dark arts. Richarlison's good at doing the dark arts. But generally, we've just got a nice team of players. We need some real... I'm not going to say the word that Jose Mourinho said, but we need some wankers in the team that are going to, you know, be a bit dirty to get a win over the line. I mean,
Cootie and Bentancur can be like that, though.
Yeah, they can be, but they weren't yesterday.
It's like it was like no one cared in the second half, isn't it? It's just I don't know.
You're supporting Spurs now, so that's it. You've got to stick with us. You can't change.
I started supporting
you will
Spurs.
Have good days, I promise you.
Kate and her husband, please don't put that on us. Please change now.
That's all right.
Do as we do. Change.
We have good times. Don't worry. It ain't gonna be all like yesterday.
No, we will have good times. I just don't think he's the one that's going to really take us to the next level, to be honest.
Well, I'm going to put myself out there and say we're still, if they keep him, we'll win a trophy under him.
I hope that we do, but if it's anything like yesterday and we go 2-2, is he going to change it for us to win a cup, or is he just going to?
Well, if he doesn't learn, it won't matter, will it? Because he'll be out the door. So.
This is hilarious. Phil P's just put this on the private chat. Me and Jim at Gatwick with your big flip flops because all of a sudden it's no longer Angie.
I'm not flip flopping. Look, I don't.
Look, you're allowed to flip flop. It's fine.
I'm not flip flopping. Right. I still think this guy can win us a trophy. But I yesterday was the first time I really looked at him, and I thought to myself,
he looks out of his depth.
Well, I thought to myself, what
I thought the same, Jim, to be honest.
I couldn't understand, right? I don't want to come down like and be horrible, nasty or nothing, but I couldn't understand why he wasn't doing anything, why he wasn't taking control of it. Because managers can take control from the sideline. And he wasn't doing that. And it was kind of like, I was a bit, I don't know how to express myself with this. he was. It was like he was in a daze, you know, like he was a rabbit in the headlights for me. And it was the first time I really started doubting him. But I mean, we have seen him scream and shout from the sideline before.
Not
He
really.
hardly does it.
He was asked about it, and he said it's not his way, that the players know what he wants them to do. But sometimes, like if you're teaching someone something, sometimes they might divert from it, and you've got to put them back in line. And he didn't seem to do that.
To me, Jimbo, it just seemed like they let us do what we wanted to do in the first half. That young manager went in the dressing room with them at half time and basically told them how it is, and they worked us out straight away of how to score. I mean, how quick did they score in the second half?
Yeah, I'm laughing at Phil.
Big up to Jimbo as well. He made his debut on the terrace last night. Big up Jimbo.
Well, I felt I should because he asked me to go on, and being that it was a loss, it's easy to go on when you win.
I'm one of the only ones who goes on, win, lose or draw. Yeah. Most of them go into hide. But do you know what? You got to face the music. If you're going to give it, you got to take it. Chang, help me with this one. How do we solve a problem like Timo Werner? What? I'm at a loss.
Leave him on the bench. Simple.
Send him back from where. Just send him back from where he came from. It's not uncommon for teams to just rip up a contract halfway through the season. I mean, we saw that with Sergio Reguilon last season when he was on loan at United, and I think it was actually justified for him to even still be tweeting about United even after he had left United and joined another club for the second half of last season. For Timo Werner, I think, I mean, I am happy. Don't get me wrong, I am still happy with Werner for that assist for Maddison's goal yesterday. But yeah, it's easy for us to slag him off, to say that he's not pulling his weight, he's not contributing to he's not contributing to the proceedings. And for the time being, until we can get Odebeer and Son back fit, I think we have to stick with him, because honestly, the options aren't.
What's the expense there?
You're saying, okay, yes, that was actually what I was thinking. Actually, if we could actually push Porro, if we could have pushed Porro, say, further up the field on the right midfield, and then maybe put Kulusevski or Johnson on the left, and then bring Spence in at right back. That's actually what I suggested to Jacob at halftime yesterday. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. So you also have to look at the bench really and think to yourself, how many of those players coming off the bench can actually affect proceedings, assuming that we do go behind. The options aren't that great either. I mean, yes, we have options for the future, but if you think about the here and now, those options are limited. And with Timo Werner, if he's the best that we can afford right now, if that's the best that we have on our roster, and we have to stick it with him regardless of whatever we think of him, then unfortunately, that's what we're stuck with. And this also goes back to what I was saying, even during preseason, why wouldn't the likes of Solanke and Odebeer brought in a lot sooner for them to really get up to speed, get up to fitness, really get down with the Big Ange's philosophy and things like this. For Werner, I think he's had enough time for someone of his level, his professionalism, to get his act together. And somehow him being back in London just isn't cutting it. And I feel maybe it could be the environment, the place that is living in, or the people that is playing with. But you can see it on Werner's face that he is he's just not cut out for the Premier League, sad to say.
Yeah, I mean, I've desperately wanted him to do well, but I can't get on board with him anymore. And if we do sign him permanently, well, I've got no words for it, because I don't understand. Yeah, Werner, yeah.
They won't sign him permanently, Kate.
Yeah, but you said they wouldn't re-sign him.
They brought him back twice. So
I know. It's like he wasn't the reason we lost yesterday, and I don't like the fact that he's being blamed. But at the same time, if you have someone better in his position, we might have actually scored more goals.
Werner was part of the problem yesterday. He wasn't.
It was collective, wasn't it? It was the whole team.
Yeah,
it
he
was
was part of
quality.
the problem. Let's not just stick it all on one guy.
But what I
mean,
will
he
say
was,
is,
he
I
was
think
part of the problem.
Werner's one of the biggest frauds out there. That's what I will say.
Yeah, I can't disagree. Phil P says,
What does he do in training to get ahead of everybody else in that starting 11 all the time? What does he do?
No idea. Isn't Timo our third choice left wing option, and isn't he a good player for that slot?
Third choice. Well, he's first choice at the moment, isn't he?
Actually, I have a very uncomfortable answer for that for you, Mr. Lee Smith, and I believe it's partly to do with his wages. I mean, if you were to re-sign a player on loan or you extend his loan on the wages that he's on, but you don't play him, then question marks will be asked of you for your own player selection, or rather the players that you green light or you give your stamp of approval to be with the squad, to be part of the match day team. That I think is one of the biggest things in not only in football, but anything that's corporate. Anything corporate, if you're on X amount of wages per week or per month, and you're not part of the team, part of the squad, that is where then people will start asking questions of the recruitment, the management, and I think this is where we are right now with even players like Timo Werner.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, if I had £1 million spare and I was told I had to bet it on whether Werner signs or not, I would have it on that we will sign him. I just think it's got Levy written all over it.
Well, Kate, I like to say that we wouldn't, but there's a reason why he's been brought back twice, isn't there?
Exactly.
What other player gets brought back twice?
It's got Daniel Levy's name written all over it. I just can see him being brought in, and he looks a shadow of the player he used to be. I just think he's past it, and I don't think we're ever going to get that player back.
He won't be signed, Kate. He won't.
Well, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I agree with Dragon D's there. If we was going to, it would have been done. But we're not signing.
Still paying him 165k a week, though, Jim.
Huh?
We're still paying him 165k a week.
Yeah, well, that's the rumours. I don't think anybody actually really knows that. But whatever he gets paid,
as Jacob said,
he gets paid.
We revamped the deal, and he thinks maybe we're not paying the full amount of wages, but
whatever he gets paid, he gets paid. But he's not good enough if we want to reach the summit, and that's just a fact. But I can't see in any way that he'll get re-signed. I can't. It wouldn't surprise me if he got sent back in January.
He did have it, Angus. He scored over 100 goals in the Bundesliga. You don't do that unless you're a decent player. Someone put on
when he came to Chelsea, wasn't it?
Yeah. Someone put on Twitter yesterday, great weekend for Levy, the NFL and a fully sold out Tottenham versus West Ham next game. That's the reality. This board couldn't care less as long as the stadium's full. Sad times as we have a manager who would run through brick walls to bring success here. I do think a lot of it comes from the top. It's rotten from the top. But
Conte was correct.
Yeah, 100%. And someone else put it's the same every single season. Doesn't matter who the manager is, doesn't matter who the players are, doesn't matter who the opposition is, it doesn't matter what day it is. It's the same again and again and again and again and again. And this club will never ever change.
The only time Levy panics is when top four is not in question and he doesn't get that Champions League money. That's when he starts panicking.
Yeah. Rakesh says, big up Jimbo. I was really happy when Son was injured, thinking old leg is gone, but yesterday I really missed him. The way he used to encourage when the team goes a goal down, and yesterday it was not there.
I think if Sonny would have
never
been playing,
happy that Sonny's injured.
I think that if Sonny was playing yesterday, we would have probably gone in 4-0 up.
I don't know though, Jim, because there's times where Sonny hasn't turned up.
Huh?
There's also times when Sonny doesn't turn up.
Yeah, but he very rarely misses chances. You know, if it was open yesterday, that was Sonny's type of game yesterday, where he runs in behind. I can't see us. I think we would have had the game won by half time, but he wasn't playing.
Big up people, tough times, uncomfortable truth for the Kulu defence league. If Kulu's ball to Solanke was better at 2-1, we'd score, be 3-1 up and probably win that game. Similar to Timo in the first half. Yeah, Kulu wasn't even great yesterday. It was just an absolute bloody shambles. I don't
Kulu was one of the better ones though. At least he was trying.
Yeah, he was one of the better ones. And this is exactly right. I went on Last Word on Spurs and I said I don't want to tempt fate, but I really feel like we've turned a corner. And then this happens and you think, why? Every time they get you thinking it's different, something's changed, and then it all goes to crap again. Someone else put
it does say on Tottenham's thing that he's on 165, but I don't know if that's us paying it all or
Romero
stealing a living, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Romero should never ever captain us again. Swear to God, if he complains at all about his travel arrangements this international break, I'd cancel his flight and leave him out there. I do think his head has been very much turned.
Well, I think he can just Real Madrid, isn't it? I think that's all he is.
Yeah.
He's not the player like that he used to be for us, that's for sure.
No, I agree. But I don't want to just dig out one or two because it was a team performance that was just horrendous. But like Jim said, we had a bit of a scare last night. Jim got up to go to the toilet and collapsed and headbutted the floor, basically. You can't really see it here, but he's got a bit of a black eye, he's got a fat lip. I know, I came in from the toilet and he was laying on the floor and I nearly had a heart attack myself. So it all in the grand scheme of things, it is only a game of football. Health is much more important. Happiness is much more important. There's plenty more important things. That's why you won't see those sort of meltdowns here. It does put everything in perspective when something like that happens. But it is frustrating. And I think anyone that's still Ange without any doubts is probably kidding himself.
No, I'm Ange. I'm not Ange out, but I've started.
Yeah, you're doubting it.
Well, I started to see a few cracks that I didn't like.
Only from yesterday, though, was the first time I ever thought to myself.
Well, look, if I'm totally honest, which I like to be on here, I like to try and be really honest. I've seen times when I think that he should have done subs and he didn't do subs. There was one game we played, I can't remember what it was, but at half time, I would have made 3 subs and he didn't do it until like 20 minutes left. I'm
not convinced he even likes subs, Jimbo, from what we've experienced with him so far. I'm not convinced he likes doing it.
But I mean, it's not, if we're totally honest, right, it's not all roses, is it? As much as some of us like to think it is, it's not. So, but look, at the end of the day, I always say that players and managers are allowed to F up, right? They're allowed to make mistakes. They're only human, right? It's how they come back from that. So let's see how we bounce back after the international break. But I know one thing: I'm not going to spend the next 2 weeks crying over it. That's for sure.
No,
Nicholas.
No, it's far more important things. I have got some questions. Everyone's asking if you're all right, Jimbo.
Yeah, I'm all right. I don't know what it was. I got up to go to the toilet and I blacked out and just I've bruised all my leg, my arm, my eye, my lip. I don't know what it was. I just completely just went dizzy and just fucking blacked out.
It's worrying about Richarlison, isn't it?
I can't be accused of pushing him. I wasn't in the room. I wasn't even in the room.
We tried to call an ambulance to get me checked over, but I think you've got to be dying in this country to get to get checked out. Well, I don't feel too bad today. I just feel a bit weak, but apart from that, I feel all right.
Thank you,
I ain't going anywhere. Yeah, I can promise you that.
I know. Do you know what? Go on, Lee. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, I'd like to hope not. He said he's not going anywhere yet.
I would too. I would too. Nicholas, exactly what I said, and Marlon as well has just said he's going back to his negative predictions. I was so confident. There wasn't even part of me that thinks we would lose this game. I was so confident The most confident I think I've been all.
I didn't
all
think we would lose.
season. You didn't think we'd lose?
No, as soon as we went 2-0 up, I thought we got this.
Yeah. You shouldn't need to score more than 2.
That's so true what he just said.
Where? Oh, this. My life's far from ideal, but it'd be nice for Spurs to distract me in a good way. But I've learned a long time ago you need other passions other than Tottenham. Yeah, exactly that. Save Jim. No, blood pressure, it was fine.
Yeah, we got a blood pressure machine, and my blood pressure was high, wasn't it? But
it was, but then it went down.
Yeah.
So, that's good loving, Kate. That was Kate jumping off the top rope. Get well soon, Jimbo. I'll tell you what, he'll end up killing me off. I tell you, he will end up killing me off. I was in such a state, panicking. But no, he's not on any blood pressure. He's never had any issues. He's strong as an ox. But hope you're well, my friend Jim. Never get up suddenly during the night when you've got. The funny thing was, we was watching Shaun of the Dead to cheer ourselves up, and we was like laughing. I went to the loo, come in, he was on the floor. I thought he was winding me up, pretending to be a zombie and going to make me jump. So when he said he collapsed, I was like, yeah. But when he stood up, he had blood coming out his nose. His eye was all swollen. And I realised that actually it wasn't a wind-up. But I'm sure he's trying to kill me off with worry, honestly. But I will get him checked out. Don't worry about that. But yeah, his sugar, he didn't hardly drink anything yesterday as well. So I think he neglected himself yesterday.
Maybe you're just too excited about Tottenham.
Yeah, maybe. Big up Dan Coys. Hope you're well. Have you taken out life insurance on Jimbo? Maybe that's what it was. He thought.
I think she's got about 3 out on me as it happens.
I've had a lot of dreams that we've won trophies.
I know. And then you wake up and it's like, oh crap. Exactly. Joey was answering your statement, Jimbo.
Joey, the thing is, Joey, look, the thing is, Joey, it's not a matter of just accepting it. I mean, I don't really want to accept it, but there's nothing I can do. What can I do about it? So what I try and do is just enjoy the wins when we win, and when we lose, just try not to fucking cry about it and melt down about it. Because at the end of the day, even if you support City, you're going to get losses. But look, it's a matter of, I suppose, we're having to accept it, Joey, because what can we do about it? You know, they've tried protesting, that don't work. I mean, I don't think you could do anything with Levy to get him out if he don't want to go. So it's just a matter of we support the club and get behind them, and it is what it is. There's nothing else we can do about it.
Yeah, I agree. And why spend your life worrying about something you can't control? That's kind of how I see it.
I think it's more the way we lost yesterday.
It was the way we lost was like I was kind of a bit shell shocked with it, because from a team that's the front foot and closing down, and I mean I said to Kate the first half, if you watch our players, we hunt in packs, and then in the second half it was just like, what happened? It was like they took Tottenham off.
It's a completely different team. It was really strange.
And put a Sunday team on. That's what it looked like to me.
Jim, we're of a similar age. Do you find it hard to support?
No, because I love Tottenham so much. I support them no matter what. But it's a little bit heart-wrenching, I suppose, because I do like Tottenham so much when I see what happened yesterday.
Yeah.
All I'm going to say is I know we're not going to win every single game, because we'll obviously be the best team on the planet if that was to ever happen. But the way that we lost yesterday was just crap, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was just a complete capitulation. It was terrible.
It's Spurs Kings. See what he put? I quite like that. Jim,
the overreaction when we win, exactly. Because people will say we're going to win the league.
Yeah, but that's for me the enjoyable thing. I love to overreact, right? But I don't like to overreact when we lose. But it's nice when you win because it puts you on a high.
This is what I said yesterday on the terrace. That's the trouble with the fan base. If we win, everyone goes mad and thinks we're going to compete with Arsenal. If we lose, it's like we're going to get relegated tomorrow. There's no in the middle. It's just such an overreaction both ways. But I mean,
It is
Vindaloo.
Yeah, yesterday was a club problem, right? It was a club problem, but it was a player problem, right? And it was a manager problem. Yesterday was, I think, was the whole package the problem. I don't think you can just say it was Angie's fault, right? Because the players never stood up on the pitch. You can say it was Angie's fault as well as the players because he didn't stand up on the sideline.
Is it his fault because of the tactics we were playing though, and he didn't adjust?
Yeah, so I'm saying
to myself, but
it is his fault as well as the players. But I'm not going to sit here and blame one player, right? And
no.
I'm not going to sit here and just blame Ange. I think it was a combination yesterday.
Yeah,
I mean, Steve, 100%.
Vindaloo said, "Are you Ange in or Ange out?" Jimbo,
Ange
in, Ange out.
I'm Ange in.
Lee?
Well, I've still got to give him longer.
Ange in.
Chang?
In. Ange in.
Yeah, I'm still Ange in. For now. We'll see.
Like yesterday, I wasn't saying like Ange out or anything like that. I was just thinking to myself, is he the guy that's going to take us to that next level the way
Lee,
and that's the first time I've ever thought that, you know.
Lee, it's all right to be critical, right? But I believe in being critical in a civilized manner, right? But it's all right to be critical of him because yesterday he deserved some criticism without any shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
He's doing it respectfully.
I wasn't really criticising him though, Jimbo. I was just thinking, is he the one that's going to take us that?
Yeah, and I had that thought yesterday. I can't lie. When I watched that second half and I watched him with his hands in his pocket, shaking his head, I was thinking, it went through my head, is this guy the right guy for Tottenham? I mean, I think that there isn't a supporter on the planet that probably never thought that.
Yeah. The thing is, the thing is, Joey, I get what you're saying with his attitude yesterday's comments. I don't want him out.
I haven't seen his comments.
Well, he basically said he doesn't care about substitutions, and he basically said as well that if you win if you're lucky and you win when you've played badly, he doesn't want that. He wants us to only win if we play well. Which is
that answers my first question that I said earlier. Then he clearly doesn't like substitutes.
But did he actually say he does not care about substitutions? Was that his words, or was his words
word for word? This is what he said. I could, because they said, should you have made substitutions early? He said, I could have, but all these things are totally irrelevant to me. Substitutions and all those kinds of things. If you're not competitive, it doesn't matter what you do. You're not going to get rewards and you don't deserve to win. We didn't deserve on our second half performance, irrespective of subs or anything else, to get something out of the game. But I think if you do get something out of the game, you're falsely rewarded, and I don't want to be falsely rewarded.
Yeah, I don't think he likes making substitutions by that, does he?
Right, let's put that in a bit of content, right? It don't sound good what he said, but you got to remember that he's come off that pitch and he's been thrown straight into a thing.
But no manager.
And look, when we're all under pressure, right? When we're all under pressure and we're put into a situation, you do say things that maybe you think after shit I shouldn't have said that. So I'm not going to say Ange out just over them comments.
No, but you cannot say, I don't think any other manager of any club in the world would ever come out and say, if we don't play well, we don't deserve to win, and I don't want to win if we don't play well. That's basically what he said.
Well, he wasn't saying that against Coventry, so he probably don't mean it. So we played shit against Coventry and we deserve to lose. The
main reason I'm not Ange out at the minute is because I don't think there's a plan. And I don't want to sack him and be rummaging around trying to find just anyone to take over or sticking Ryan Mason there. If we want to get Ange out, we need to have someone prepared and ready to take the project on. We took us how long to get Ange in? You know, we were getting refused by the world and his wife. I can't go through that again. I just can't.
It's a never-ending circle, though, isn't it? If we keep getting rid of managers.
Yeah.
Paul's made a good point there.
What's this? The problem is Ange has not got a strong squad, and this suicide football needs a strong squad. Well, that's what's going to take time. But yeah, they're just absolutely bonkers comments. I don't understand whatever possessed him. I've always thought he was quite good with the media. But
he's slowly getting more arrogant about it.
Yeah.
Snide comments.
Yeah. It's kind of like when we watched Conte, he was really upbeat, and Jose, and fun in press conferences, and then Tottenham slowly broke them, and you saw him becoming more aggressive in press conferences, saying things that weren't really appropriate, and I can see that happening with Ange.
Yeah, look what the Belgian Hotspur said, because I haven't seen the interview. I haven't watched it yet. So this is what I wanted to see, that if it's kind of been taken out of context a little bit.
We do have
Please tell me what. I'd like to know what you think he meant. I've just read out his words, word for word, what he said. I haven't misquoted him. I read the exact quote out. So I'm interested, Joris, to see what you mean. Because I haven't changed it or twisted it. I've just read out exactly what he said. But I think that's aimed at key players. It's not competitive, but why can't subs change anything? Because he would have to take off Romero and Maddison, but these are the players who have to learn to lead. Yep, he did. He did say
he
that.
He does take Maddison off, though.
Yeah, he does. He always takes Maddison off. But yeah, that's exactly right. If we get rid of Ange, we just go round and round in circles.
Correct.
What's Angus you employ? Bottle manager for 2 seasons. It's going to be 3rd season. You need Southgate more than us. Do you remember Pep and City in the early days when sometimes the players would self-implode on the pitch? Pep would make subs as soon as possible, demand they resolve it themselves. Look at Farteta, park the bus at Spurs and City. You need to do it and be a weasel sometimes. Yeah. Spurs breaking another manager is the Tottenham way. It's so true. Marlon says Ange's biggest issue is his coaches. They're not at the level. Also, they're all learning day by day. Sometimes you need your own bunch of people to develop your way of playing.
Hasn't he got some of his own people with him then?
Well, he's got
the Aussie guy, and he's the one who.
I know he's got Ryan Mason and people like that.
He's got the Aussie guy with the beard.
Yeah, I can't remember his name, begins with R.
Yeah, he played under him somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, Conte was, and Mourinho always says in interviews the only relationship he hasn't got a thing with is Tottenham, isn't it? He's got a relationship with.
Sorry, that comment before. I think one before that, Kate. No, maybe he should question himself. I think he is the type of bloke that will question himself. I don't think he would just question the players. I think he will question himself.
Do you think?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Because he's very stubborn.
Yeah, I know, but I still think that he'll sit back and question himself.
I'm not sure. I'm starting to think the stubbornness is more arrogance. I'm just not sure. Saying that they don't deserve to win doesn't mean he didn't want to try and win. No, yeah, I haven't said that he didn't want to try and win, but he's saying that if you do win, when you haven't played well, you don't deserve to be rewarded, and he doesn't want to be rewarded for that, which is bonkers. And that sort of attitude will cost him his job. That it's as easy as that. I didn't see anything wrong with what he said. Wow, interesting.
I'm going to watch it after, and then I'll comment on it when we're back on. We're back on Wednesday.
I'll watch it as well.
I don't know, tomorrow or Wednesday, whenever we can be bothered. Jedinak, that's it. It doesn't begin with it begins with J. Jedinak. I'm so behind. Remember that Ange said yesterday was the worst loss since he's been at the club. It's because he saw the players being cowardly for the first time and not fighting for it. Yeah, I think that's true. Big up David says, I've seen thumbnails going back months, and the paraphrasing makes me wonder the command people have of the English language. But it can be that he's a legend one day and he's shit the next day. Neither's true. It's always somewhere in the middle. I agree. I just don't know whether this stubbornness of his is going to work in the Premier League. It's worked against teams like Coventry and Ferencváros and Carrierbag and a really poor Man United team. But you come up against a Brighton team come unstuck.
We got West Ham next, haven't we?
Yeah. And doesn't know how to adapt his game. He's too stubborn. Do you think something very wrong at the club because it feels like rinse and repeat? Go on, Chang. I'll let you answer this one.
I think I have to be very careful with how I answer this as well in regards to rinse and repeat, because if it really is rinse and repeat, then it beggars the question, why are we even doing what we're doing? Why are we even continuing supporting this club if it's just rinse and repeat, and we find ourselves having to we will find ourselves rinsing and repeat shows like this with the topics at hand, with what we are supposed to be debating when there's actually nothing to be debated. There's nothing debatable because it's just rinse and repeat, much like the club. I really do hope we break the vicious cycle somehow, and the sooner we do that, the better for it. But on the evidence of our past decade or so under this current management, under Levy and Enoch, and also the way we are seemingly having this managerial sort of merry-go-round that is pointless. If you look at the amount of times we've had to sack the moment something doesn't feel right or something doesn't work out right. So there is one way actually, which a lot of the fan base that are really, really concerned with the club, the way we are going, and that is the way they are trying to start all these protests, the way they are protesting. But until we actually get everyone on board, until there is actually like a collective sort of uprising, not really uprising or a riot, but we start boycotting, if there is such a thing, where we can collectively hit the management where it really hurts, and that is their pockets, the pockets in which they have to line their bank accounts and satisfy their shareholders. Until that happens, I think it's just going to be rinse and repeat. And now that they have the stadium, which is also another revenue for them, whereby it's almost like Spurs and the footballing aspect is takes second place. It doesn't even take precedence anymore. But yeah, I don't think things are going to change anytime soon. We just have to hope that things will change on the pitch, because if you really want to affect change, the possible way is on the pitch, not off the pitch. Off the pitch will take something rather drastic. So something has to be done on the pitch, and the players that we have, until maybe we can find players that will absolutely run their socks off for the club, much like say Lamela did when he first joined, or even someone like a Graham Roberts. Until that happens, unfortunately, we'll just be stuck with where we are.
Yeah, I mean, Johnny, look, another one who said that I've took the speech wrong. I'm going to watch it again and see. Maybe I have took it wrong. I just think they're very red flag comments.
Well, hang on, you've only read out what he said, though, haven't you?
Exactly. Yeah, I've read it out word for word what he said. So maybe they're saying that when you watch it, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. For me, it's I don't know. I literally, this is one of those times when I'm really at a loss with what to say about Spurs, because it just came so unexpected. We was like cruising, and it just all went to poo. But someone said Rinketic, I think it was, Jimbo. Do you reckon the players are done with Ange, or some of them?
No, I don't think so. I don't know. It's so hard just to put your finger on what happened yesterday. It's just like, to me, it was like they took the team off and put imposters on that are Sunday league footballers. That's what it looked like to me. They looked like they never had a clue. The second half, it was kind of a bit like in a parallel universe. It was very strange the way it just all because the first half football was fantastic, and it just all changed. It was very, very strange for me. But look, I'm not going to start screaming Ange out, and I'm not going to.
You need to remember though, we have won 5 out of 6, so it's not all that bad.
Yeah, I'm not going to just blame Werner. I think there's not a Spurs supporter at the club that thinks that he's good enough, right? Because if we want to go places, he's not good enough. Right, David? But yesterday was not Werner's fault, just Werner. It was a collective of the team and of the manager. So I'm not going to dig out any players. I could name players that I thought was shit that second half, but I thought the whole team was bad the second half. I don't think there was anyone that I looked at and thought, well, he's giving it his all.
Kulik, I thought, was the only one trying.
But he went kind of anonymous for me, second half. It was just a weird performance. But I look at the end of the day, you could have the best player in the world on the pitch. If the other 10 are not performing, you ain't going to make a difference.
Big up David Shear, member for 10 months. Thank you very much. I'm going to end the show in a minute because my head's gone tight with it all. Big up Destiny 5 as well, member for 5 months, saying Werner out.
He's going nowhere.
Yoris says, of course, it's all open to interpretation. I'm sure he didn't mean that he'd rather they lost. He was hoping they got themselves out of trouble, but they didn't have the bollocks. He's angry. Angie Melon's out.
Things could have been changed a lot quicker, though.
Yeah, definitely. Big up Paddy says, yesterday showed that some of these players do not have the right mindset and need to take the blame for not making changes. I did see your tweet, Paddy. I did like it. Angie's got to take a big share of the blame for yesterday, but I also
100%.
think the players do as well. But exactly this, Vindaloo, when Deji comes on and says it's Werner's fault, no, it wasn't. He wasn't even the worst player on the pitch yesterday.
No, he wasn't.
I think Deji's frustrated because he said that he wanted Poch back yesterday, so I think he's just frustrated.
It is, but I don't like people scapegoating. Werner's an easy target because he's bang out of form. I just don't think it's fair because he wasn't even. I mean, he wasn't great, but he wasn't as bad as some of the others.
Okay, let's not beat around the bush. He's crap. Let's be honest.
He's not the greatest. But yeah, we definitely should have changed it faster. Look, I've got to do the points. I'm not going to go through every game, but the points over the weekend were Jimbo got 5 points, bringing his total up to 39. Mr. Chang got 6 points, bringing his total up to 51. I got 4 points, bringing my total up to 44. And Nick got 3 points, bringing his total to 50. So Chang has taken over. He's now in the lead, Mr. Chang. Thank God. So Nick can take a seat. Go away, Nick. Stop giving it large that you're winning. You're not winning anymore. Chang is in the lead. Nick second, me third, Jimbo fourth at the moment. So
Chang knows football.
Yeah, he does. He got more results right than any of us. So
Mr. Chang for chairman.
Exactly. Well, I'm hopefully going to do a members show as well. I don't know. No, it's not you that's giving me a headache. Spurs have given me a headache, and I obviously didn't sleep very well after Jim's little performance. And look who's coming. Look, hi guys, brighten up my day. Ooh, that's a good one, Hassam. Did you spend all night thinking of that? Well done. Congratulations for a really poor Christmas cracker joke, you fraud. Big up Vindaloo, have a good day. Was great to share a stream yesterday, Mr. Chang. Keep well, says Daikaro. Something must have happened in the dressing room as soon as they came on and started to all look wonky. I reckon they'd all had a spliff. That's what I reckon. Goodbye, all great show. Listen, Lee, thank you for coming on. It's always good to have you on. Mr. Chang, as always, thank you very much. Are you doing any streams between now? Or there won't be a show, a Premier League preview Friday because there's no bloody Premier League.
I have nothing lined up for the week or so, I think. Yeah. Until the Premiership resumes. That's me for the next fortnight. And I think I'll be better for it. Given, me constantly being moving about. with my broadcasting locations, but it's good to have a backup here, which I know I can depend on the internet. Today was so much better compared to last Monday. And until such time in which the Premiership resumes, I think I would also be taking a backseat from football, because honestly, the Spurs circles, the community that we are thriving in, is somewhat negative right now, and that's not the kind of headspace I want to be in. So until such time the Premiership resumes, I'll just take it all in. I still have a lot to be thankful for. 5-5 is nothing to be sneered at. Neither is 6-6 for Johnson. I mean, if there is one positive from yesterday, it was Johnson with his 6-6. And for a brief moment, I think I can speak for most of us fans, when Johnson got his 6-6, a lot of us thinking it will also be 6-6 for us, much like his 6-6, but it wasn't to be. But we'll still have to weather this storm. We will still have to pick up where we left off from before the second half resumed yesterday, and let's just see what happens come end of November, before December kicks in, because November is going to be where I think our season will be defined come end of November, even before January happens. So let's just keep the faith. Let's just hope Big Ange has learned a very, very painful and valuable lesson from yesterday. And last but not least, come on, you Spurs.
Yeah, do you know what, Kate? We haven't even mentioned that Johnson got 6 out of 6, so that was a plus.
I know. That was a plus.
And who was it who said about the quad? Is the quad? Oh, Matt. I never said the quad was on from the beginning, Matt. I said the treble was on.
Well, why does it say under your name the quad is on?
Because I like it. It makes me feel good. So I'm going to keep that. I want to keep it there. All right.
Smithy, are you coming up on any streams?
Not too sure. You can usually find me over with Jess and the gang, because I don't really like Tottenham channels. They're too negative.
Thanks.
No, I love your channel, obviously, but I don't really watch many Tottenham channels. They're too negative and stuff. So yeah, you can catch me over there with the gang. Subscribe if you haven't. Thank you for letting me on.
Always.
Kate and Jimbo. Mr. Chang, I will say I do like the look of your spaceship, and I hope that you land okay. I do like that. And I'll see you all soon.
Exactly. You will.
Yes.
He doesn't really like football. He is a Spurs fan. That's probably why he doesn't like football, to be fair. But he does say to us all the time, Mum, why can't I just be a Man City fan? He's 18, and we're like, no, you're stuck with Spurs now. So
he wouldn't change.
He chooses not to watch us most of the time. Jimbo, I shall let you finish the show as only you can.
Well, I don't know how to finish it today.
I know.
Positively, Jim.
I'm kind of stuck for words, which is unlike me.
Yes, it is.
All right. Well, look, I'm gonna finish it a bit different, right? And I'm gonna just say we still love Tottenham, right? We lost yesterday. Fuck it. Let's move on and see how we go after the break. Have a good 2-week break from Tottenham, and let's see how we do when we come back. Come on, you Spurs! I love you. I don't know what else to say. I can't really put a positive spin on it, can I?
And big up Brennan Johnson.
Absolutely.
For proving the doubters.
Yeah.
So, come on, you Spurs.
Big up Johnson for proving the doubters wrong. And it will be 7 out of 7 against the wet spam.
There we go.